Hello, my name is Chris Frias, and I'm a campaign operations consultant here at Atumos. Today we'll be looking at list views and how you can customize them in a way where you can confirm all the information on file for your records is not only accurate, but present within specific fields. So to get started, I'm going to go to a smart list that I built out. So we'll go to the smart list titled Target Audience. And from here, I'll go up to the top at this People tab. And so this list you can see here is not very dense. There's not a whole lot in here. Your list is probably going to look a lot different, a lot more information, just based on if you did a bigger list import or if you have a smart list that has more records in it. But yeah, for test purposes, this is very small. But at any rate, you would go to this View Default dropdown. You click here, and then you click on Create View. So in here, you have basically all the columns available in your database, all the fields that you have available that you can add to this list view. Here are the current visible columns. So what we saw in that default view, here's what's present. But let's say I wanted to add a few more columns to confirm the information. I would go over here and we can add, say, state. I type that in, click there, hit add. I wanted to add maybe country, type it in, click and add, and you'll see it gets added to the very bottom of this list, state and country right here. The order really doesn't matter all that much because when you actually go into that list view, when you create it, you can just drag and drop and move them around any way you like, which I'll show you in just a second. So don't worry about getting it in the exact order here. It doesn't really matter all that much. But here I will name this test view and I'll hit create. So now you have this view that you just created. You'll see state and country are at the end, in addition to what was already present in that default view. So let's say I want to drag state over after email but before phone, just click and drag. Same thing with country, I'll just click and drag. So now you have email, state, country, phone, and person source. But again, it's totally customizable. Whatever you prefer, what columns you need, you can rearrange them in any order that you like. That makes most sense. So for whatever reason, if I wanted to edit this view or wanted to delete it, you just go back to that drop down right here. You'd click Edit Test View or whatever you named your view. And then from here, you can add additional columns. You can remove them, whatever you want to do. And then from here, you can hit delete if you want to delete it entirely. So one thing to keep in mind is that when you create your own list view, it's only present to you. So other members on your team, even if they're in the same Marketo instance, it won't be visible to them. So I suggest if you had put something together that you really like, maybe take a screenshot of it and send it over to them, or list out all the columns that you chose and the order you did so that they can mirror what you did, but within their account. Another thing to keep in mind too is if, let's say, you have this big list that you put together and has all this great information and you want to export it, you just go to the bottom down here and click this little export icon, and it'll drop it into an Excel file. But depending on how many columns you have in it, that'll determine how quickly it gets exported. So if you have a ton of columns and a ton of fields, lots of information, lots of records, it'll take a lot longer to export. So my advice would be is if you have certain variable or certain columns that you want included, and certain ones that don't necessarily matter, I would remove those unnecessary ones and keep just what you need so that the export doesn't take as long, and it's also easier to sift through the data when you're looking through it. But yeah, when you put this list together, it's a great way to compare data amongst your records. You can see if, like in this example, state is present in 4 of the 6 records here. Country is present in all of them, so you can see, okay, why is it missing here, or is the information accurate? It's a great way to compare data across all the records within a list that you've created. So really cool feature that Marketo has. And yeah, definitely can use to your advantage. So I suggest testing out your own list view, creating one, customizing it to your liking, see how beneficial it can be. And it can certainly be hugely advantageous within your role. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out other great content on etumos.com.